Right, welcome back everyone. Another phenomenal week of racing. Back here to talk more. You look like you got something to say. You all right?
Yeah, your sunglasses. What are you doing, you clown?
Bright in here.
You've got eye sensitivity. It is bright, isn't it?
It is bright in here.
But not
I haven't
that
got eye
bright.
sensitivity, but it's sunny outside. And just
You look like a knob, mate.
take it out with the manager. Anyway, welcome back, guys. We've got a lot to go through, so I think we should just dive straight in. It's been a phenomenal week at York. By the time that to give you an idea, at the time of filming this, it's always good to give them an idea because it just is. At the time of filming this, we're here on Friday night, and it's you've got one day left tomorrow, the Saturday. No Group 1s tomorrow, is there?
I've not looked. I'd have to have a look.
I don't think there is, but we've got one day left of the York Festival. But like the biggest and best have already happened, so we're gonna talk through 5 different races. We're gonna try and get through 5 different races.
Easy.
So, what did you think of York?
Well,
How was it?
if you're asking me what I felt of York, mate, I would say, comfortably, I think it's the best racing festival we've had this year.
Fuck, that is
I really do.
it's a bold statement, that isn't it?
Yeah, do you know why? I'll back it up as well.
Go on then.
Because I've not seen a race where there's been any hard luck stories. It's been fair. They've spread across the track, and the best horses won.
Yeah,
Goodwood is always a hard luck story. Ascot, you get it a little bit as well. But up at York, it's been a great 3 days as it's been so far, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I think the best horses won the race, and yeah, I've just enjoyed it.
yeah, it was good. A lot of high flying action, loads of great races. We've obviously got a picture on the screen behind us of the contenders for what was the Juddmonte. But we've got races in order. Because we've got a lot to go through, we should just jump in. Fundamentally, I hope everybody watching this has had a great festival so far. I hope you've really enjoyed it. We've enjoyed ourselves. And there's a hell of a lot to go through, so we should dive straight in. We talked about a few horses a couple of weeks ago when we were last here of what we liked. So we'll go into that as well. And we talk about that. Probably almost best not to, but we will. We should.
No, we will hold our own hands up to some of those, but
We absolutely
it's racing,
will.
mate. It's racing. Is what it is.
Just going to get another minstrel here.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, take your time.
Right, take us through do you want to start or do you want me to start? Because we've got the voltage up first.
Voltage.
And to be fair,
You can go on the Vulture because you quite liked the race, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I suppose it was a small field, and we had Los Angeles was the winner of the Voltager. For those of you who didn't see it, and it was I put up a horse called King's Gambit in this race. You'll see that we had on our YouTube and on our TikTok put up King's Gambit because I thought this was a progressive horse and is quite used to the small fields. So should take the new trip in his stride, but it just didn't make it. Just didn't get there. It was closing all the way, but the horse was won by the race was won by Los Angeles, who obviously had the stamina. Illinois impressed me because it seemed like in the last half a furlong, that horse was actually getting back to Los Angeles. So I can see why Illinois is one of the Ledger favourites because that was quite impressive. But at the end of the day, look, Los Angeles had the stamina to just keep going and keep going.
Yeah, I think it was again. I'll say this probably many times. It was a fair race. If anything, it was probably down to a little bit of class, maybe, mate. Maybe Los Angeles just had that little bit more class than King's Gambit. King's Gambit's a very good horse. He's proven it this season. There was not a problem with the trip. He didn't stay. He stayed fine because it was a bit of a bunch finish, wasn't it? Los Angeles with
3 of them
Illinois and King's Gambit, literally within half a length.
Yeah.
So you can't say he didn't stay the trip, and he's run a very good race. And I think, yeah, it's just maybe a little bit of class edge, just taking Los Angeles to the front.
Yeah, taking it just you're right. It was definitely King's Gambit got away with the trip for sure, but probably just in too strong of company.
Yeah,
So,
I don't.
yeah.
he didn't fail to stay at all. He was
No, he
strong
was
to
there.
the line.
Yeah.
Just slightly done, probably on that little bit of class, maybe.
Yeah, I know. So look, I'm going to stick. I'll stick with him because obviously when a horse is up to in trip and then has only raced over it once, there's a lot more to come. And he was only having his 7th start or something like that. So be plenty more to come. And to be fair, I heard someone say the other day that Harry Charlton has not had many winners or any at all in the last couple of weeks. But I thought he was in fairly decent form leading up to this, so that was never going to put me off.
Yeah, but you're probably looking at a horse that's not come up against the winner Los Angeles, third in the Derby, and then won the Irish Derby. He hasn't
much stronger form.
King's Gambit hasn't raced against those horses yet.
No,
and that's the first time. And he did himself proud, but just wasn't quite good enough in there.
Yeah, we got a good run out of it. So yeah, all in all, it was decent. It was a decent voltager.
Good race.
So we've got the big one comes next. Then it was the Juddmonte.
Yes.
So I know you've got a fair bit to say on that. So do you want to kick us off? Take us through it while I open my drink over here.
Yeah, absolutely. I texted you the night before, didn't I?
Nope.
Saying, I did, don't lie. What a race this is. And for me, this was so far the race of the year. You look at the field and there was Group 1 winners all over it. And it was just such a strong field. And they all turned up, didn't they? City of Troy.
Talk us through how it unfolded and how it went.
Yeah, so City of Troy, he broke almost too well and ended up at the front. And Ryan Moore decided, fuck it, let him bowl along. So the pacemaker broke slowly, probably. Didn't get there. So Moore ended up at the front. Sat obviously around the inside rail. When it came down, push to shove, it just, he took off, didn't he? And is it Cardenigan? How do you say it? The French horse? Cardenigan came from out the pack and quite a far way back, actually. And he did sprout some wings. And at one point, you thought he's going to get him. He's going to really chase him down here because he did rocket that last couple of furlongs. He choking.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. Yeah, it's all right. Go on.
You've interrupted my flow now.
Sorry, continue.
So it did look like the French horse was going to get him, but he just found another gear. And if anything, he was going away again at the end. So might have been impressive. There's a lot of horses to talk about in this race, mate, isn't there?
I know.
Lou Stocking, Ambienta Friendly, Alflaila.
Yeah.
There's a lot of horses to talk about.
Let me say something first, and then I'll hand back to you, and maybe back to me and stuff, and then we can bounce off each other. Anyway, you're right in what you say. I've watched this race back many times, and I remember sneaking off to the toilet, sneaking off to the. Oh wait, hang on a sec. No, yeah, it was on the Wednesday, the Juddmonte, wasn't it? Yeah. So I remember sneaking off to the toilet at work, making sure that I didn't miss a second of this. City of Troy broke really well, and he had no choice but to stay in front, just stay there. Just listening to Ryan on his interviews and Aidan on his interviews, and he said, look, it was just popped out too well, but they didn't want to break his rhythm. So they thought, well, let's just give it a go. It's not often we've seen that from him, is it? No. And yeah, it paid off. I obviously, when we were here last time, alongside King's Gambit, I thought that Alflaila would run a really good race. Unfortunately, his race was over as soon as he came out the stalls. Broke really badly, and
missing break.
It was a coming together with him and Docklands, is it? I think it was Docklands. And coming together, Joseph's horse was trying to go left, and it happened. So break badly, and then when you've got a horse that's carrying top weight and you find yourself second last and you're on the inside, nothing's happening. And the position when he come out the stalls was nothing to do with it because it seemed like everything broke so well.
Apart from him.
Apart from him and obviously Docklands, but that's, drawn wide. But I was hoping for a really big run, but it just didn't happen. So look, I'll absolutely stick with the horse, but it just didn't happen. So
yeah, I think just on the back of that, again, I text you, didn't I? And I can't remember if it was night before the morning. My only slight concern with it was whether it was good enough to win a proper Group 1, carrying the top weight.
Yeah.
But then missing the break, 3 or 4 lengths detached within a matter of seconds. You're
it was just done.
It's very difficult.
It was just done.
Yeah.
Shame.
Only the superstars are going to get away with that.
I was so
unfortunately.
impressed with how like most of them come out of those stalls.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we've got to talk about ambiente friendly in that race next.
Yep.
I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened?
I've got a good theory on what happened. And
Give it
again,
to us.
said it before. I think it's not his trip. I don't think everyone was saying coming back to 1 mile 2 is the
He
best
got
thing for it.
outpaced, didn't
Got
he?
outpaced.
Massively outpaced.
Yeah, we've spoken about this before. We're saying 1 mile 4 is definitely his trip. And I even said a few months ago, which I'm way off now, that he could have even stepped up to maybe 1 mile 6 for the Ledger.
I was just about to say it could be further.
Yeah, but everyone seemed to bring him back in. I don't know. Maybe he could come back to 1 mile 2 again and prove me totally wrong. But I just thought it was massively outpaced. Because if you're watching the 1 mile 4 races running both the derbies and things, he's last off the bridle.
What the fuck is wrong with James Fanshawe? Why are you bringing him back in trip? What's he done that for?
Yeah, he may prove us wrong in time, but I just thought, I just didn't think it was the right move. But
He has to transfer this horse to our ownership,
should do
to
shouldn't
our
he?
training facilities.
I mean, Fanshaw's been around for so long. What does he know?
He knows quite a lot, mate.
Well, he should do, shouldn't he?
But he don't know enough about ambiente friendly.
No,
Don't know as much as we do about the horse.
No. Experiment maybe gone a little bit wrong, but
I think that's what it was.
yeah.
Look,
Unless the horse was having an off day. But
I don't know if sometimes it is a case of where else do they go. Like you've got to take your chance, haven't you?
Yeah.
You have to take your chance, and we know the horse has got class.
yeah.
But it was just wrong. Now, speaking of getting outpaced, Blue Stocking
Yeah.
outpaced.
One of my favourite horses this season, Blue Stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got again. She's won at 1 mile 2 at York, so no excuses on
Back
that
in the
front.
day, though. Yeah.
No, I think her first race this season she won it. She won 1 mile 2 at York.
Forget what I said. You're right. Cut that.
Yeah, take that out. But I think she's also just as good over 1 mile 4, and yeah, maybe just she's up against the likes of City of Troy and the French horse, and maybe just got took off her feet a little bit. She stayed on for 4th, didn't she? And again, no excuses. Ran her race and maybe just wasn't quite good enough that race on the day.
I'll tell you who did run a good race. And I think you know what I'm going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to say, because you said again when we were texting the night before, you said each way play for you at a lot bigger price was
Ghostwriter.
correct.
Ghostwriter ran really well, and I was really impressed. And the SP of that horse was 33-1. Obviously, Ghostwriter was in the race in the Eclipse of City of Troy, and was also, interestingly enough, I'm going to mention this now as opposed to our next episode, because it was in the same race, another boarding horse by the name of God's sake, he's racing tomorrow. It's the horse that I tipped up earlier in the couple of
See
the Fire. Yes, See the Fire. We've made a short about this.
Yeah.
See the Fire is racing tomorrow.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, racing tomorrow in the first. His favourite, back at 1 mile 2. But let's just focus on this.
Yeah.
We get sidetracked. Yeah, so look, it was impressive performance, 33-1. Was going really, really good guns. But the French horse, really come out of the pack to chase City of Troy home.
It did.
I was reading up some of the jockey comments and said I was gutted. I thought I had him beat because Ryan felt him come to his quarters from like a furlong out and thought, oh God. But obviously, once City of Troy gets galloping, just looks relentless.
Do you know what? I'll make a claim on City of Troy. So he only had his one flop in the Guinness, wasn't it? And other than that, he's been brilliant. If he can turn up to every race like he had done for the Derby, like he did for the Juddmonte, might go unbeaten now
You reckon?
for the remainder of his career. Because he might race maybe towards the end of this year again.
Are you saying
keep
that?
him in training next year? Might do. You never know with Cornwall because it would be worth millions at stud.
Do you reckon it could be an enable thing where we're waiting to hear whether she's kept in training or not?
Yeah. But obviously he's been beaten, so you can't compare to like a Frankel. But if he keeps turning up in that form, what's going to beat him?
We can make a TikTok out of you saying that.
Could do, couldn't we?
Yeah.
That's a claim.
That is, isn't it? Yeah. You're saying that's what's going to happen, are you?
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm saying it's what could happen. If he turns up in that form like he did for the Derby and the Juddmonte, what's going to beat him?
I don't
unless
know.
he's having a bad day, because
And he has had bad days.
only in
Not
the
many,
Guineas.
though. Yeah.
The Guineas was the only one he's had a shocker in it. So he's a serious horse, here, Troy, mate. He's a proper horse.
Brought racing. These big horses bring racing to life. They really, really do. And I'm watching it, and the Derby impressed me massively, but the Juddmonte was a performance.
The Juddmonte was a lot stronger field than the Derby field.
Do you remember did you send me a text before? Was it the Juddmonte you said, look at last year? Absolute shit.
It was like 4 runners.
Shit field, shit turnout.
2 of them weren't worth
last year's
in it. It's like,
It's completely different, though.
I think Paddington was in it, wasn't it? The Coolmore horse, and off the back a couple of good runs. I think he finished. I don't think he won. I think it was third or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
brilliant race. Like I say, I think that's probably the race of the year for me so far.
Well, just so as a rundown of the Juddmonte. So Calandigan really, really impressed. The French horse goes right to blue stocking. There's nothing else really to take out of that race because everything was a much bigger price. Just obviously the couple of horses that were some shorter prices, but then finished towards the back. So
Docklands ran well. I've backed Docklands a couple of times this year.
Docklands came
over
like
a mile.
6th.
Seventh it was in the end, but I backed it at Ascot when it was second last time. And not a bad run, 7th, first time at 1 mile too. Anyway, won't go for every single horse, but it was a great race.
I said Docklands was with Joseph O'Brien. It was with Harry Eustace. Sorry about that.
Did you?
Fucking idiot.
Hayla Turner rides it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a great race, but we've got to move on.
Yeah, go.
Shit, we do. We have got to move on. Yorkshire Oaks. You told me what you...
just quickly, Yorkshire Oaks. We say about Blue Stocking running her race and maybe not been good. Well, that was a mistake, probably not putting her in the Yorkshire Oaks.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I know what we know now from the Yorkshire Oaks still, but which we're going to say. But the owner of Blue Stocking was obviously the sponsor of the race for the Juddmonte, and I think that's probably why they opted for it.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I think
anyway, that was just what I think of that.
I think they're kicking themselves a bit then.
Maybe.
Whatever. Yorkshire Oaks, you were quite keen on the winner, Content.
Yeah.
And Content was the one that didn't blow the field away, but stayed in front, didn't she?
Yeah, and I'm going to say that was one of the best rides I've seen Ryan Moore give a horse, and he gives a lot of horses a good ride. It's probably the ride of the week so far for me.
Yeah, okay.
On Content, because she was pulling like a train after a couple of furlongs. Her head was up in the clouds. He couldn't get her to settle. And he gave her the most patient ride, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Even 4 furlongs out, you think...
She was keen.
Yeah, she was so keen. But he was so patient with her and just let her find her legs, let her find her lungs again. And then the last 2 furlongs, he went for her and got a response. I think that was a masterful ride. I really
it was good. Yeah, I know that she was very keen. She didn't get the best of starts either. If you look at the race back, she just didn't get the best of starts. And then obviously stayed towards the inside, trying to settle her. And we've obviously got to talk about Emily Upjohn, who again was just not good enough.
Yeah, so...
Kieran done nothing wrong this time.
No, Kieran.
Because you're always slating him.
No, bollocks. Oh, no, that's not true. Yeah, I am on.
Every time we sit here, you've got something to say about him.
Yeah, we do actually. No, Kieran's done nothing wrong. He's put her in a great position, and she's run a good race. But no, again, she just wasn't good enough. There's no excuses.
I thought we're going to see her win this time because she's last off the bridle.
Well, she looked the winner 2 out, 3 out. I thought actually she's gonna take this.
Yeah.
But no, just that last furlong, didn't get there. I say, great ride from Ryan Moore on Content, so I take nothing away from that at all. But she had every chance to go and win that race.
Yeah, she
did.
No
excuses this time. There's been excuses previously, probably, but no excuses this time.
Well, all the time that Emily's out in front and you've got Content pushing her out on the inside, and obviously Emily had nothing, she just wasn't good enough. But all the time, Rosser is winding up. You got to me all the time. And you're thinking, could this Rafe Beckett runner mow down the pair of them? Because she's coming as well.
Yeah.
And it was close. It was close.
Well, didn't it win the Pretty Polly? Am I making that up?
What you got to me?
Yeah, it won a Group 1. Was it the Pretty Polly last time?
One at the
Oh, maybe it weren't that.
no one in the Curragh. Sorry, yes. Sorry, the Irish Oaks.
The Irish Oaks. Was it the Irish Oaks?
You got to me one the Irish Oaks.
Yeah.
So has demonstrated the stamina, no problem at all.
Yeah, but I thought that was a bit of a one-off, but
no,
backed it up with a good run in the Yorkshire Oaks there.
Yeah,
so
it was decent.
Maybe that's a good horse there.
But yeah, so she just looked very genuine and looked like to give it her absolute all, holding on, content just to pick up the win. Great ride from Ryan.
No, I think any other jockey might not have won that race, but
Ryan Moore has made so much cheese
ride of
this
the week
week.
for me, that.
Ride of the week?
Oh, Mark, what he's saying, well, we said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
He has filled his pockets.
Mate, Ryan is, I'm telling you now.
He's got to be on a 10% winnings of some of those. And the
8-10%
itself was, the prize money was 1.2 million, wasn't it?
Something
It
like
was
that.
big, so yeah, mate, he's had it right off this week. Not
Yes.
that he doesn't anyway. The guy's a millionaire, but yeah, he's definitely.
He's down at strip clubs after every single day.
Oh, mate, he's out there hitting the Jaeger bombs, isn't he?
So many. Do you remember back in the day, did you participate in Jaeger bombs and whatnot?
Yeah, I used to do a few Jaeger bombs, mate, in my day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Disgusting
absolutely.
things.
Yeah.
I've done a few here and there, but they're disgusting.
Yeah. Well, that's Ryan.
Yeah, I know. Don't make false claims on this channel, mate. Anyway, moving on. We actually then moved on to the two races from today, which is the Nunthorpe and the Lonsdale. We're okay for time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all right for time. So we're going to start wrapping it up. Let's go into we'll do the Stayers Cup first, the Lonsdale, because it came before the Nunthorpe. Obviously, it was won by Vauban for Willie Mullins, a horse that has had quite a few goes lately on the flat and is sort of like obstacle turned flat horse. And it was an interesting race because everything came back. Vauban just cruised on the outside of all of them. So Gregory was heavily backed before the race, went off at about 5-2. Point Lonsdale was in there and was apparently, according to Ruby Walsh, the class act in the field. Yeah, nice one, Ruby. And Vauban mowed down a lot of them.
Yeah, Point Lonsdale, it could be a class act still, but he didn't stay.
No, he didn't stay.
It might be a class act back over 1 mile 4, something like that, but he didn't stay. Well, it did look like he stayed. I thought Gregory would go close, but did what he did a little bit at Goodwood. Looked like he was going to threaten and then found not a great deal. Maybe he's a bit more of a plodder than he is a turn of foot type of horse. But Vauban, cruised down the outside, and I probably wouldn't have had it before the race personally. But yeah, would take your hat off to it.
Interestingly enough, Vauban actually, I think the markets opened for Vauban at about 11-4, and it actually went off 11-2.
Yeah, there was no money for it.
No, it was a drifter all the way. So, just smooth headway on the outside.
Yeah.
And actually, before the race, it was a very good call from some of the female pundits and the presenters, because they were saying to each other that there's a horse in there, Al Nayir for Tom Clover, which was a big price second finish. Luke Morris was riding. So this horse finished second at 33-1 and had its first go over this trip abroad. Then Tom Clover put it in this race and said he's been working well at home and ends up finishing a neck to Vauban. So that was interesting.
He was the only horse in the race that actually finished with a rattle.
He did.
Everything else was plodding.
And there was a moment when
Luke
didn't know whether to go in or out of Will on Vauban.
Yeah, and inside obviously of him in the end, didn't he? But
that might have cost him a little bit. But
yeah, I don't think he'd have won.
Ruby Walsh was analysing when Vauban was out in front whether he idled a tad, because he wasn't doing much out in front, and it would suggest that if he did idle, he was just getting a bit lonely.
Yeah.
And when he went past the winning post, they were looking after the race at whether he was chasing Al Nayir, and he was. So just likes a pen pal.
Yeah.
Yeah, likes to have a pen pal there. So, but love a Stayers Cup.
Yeah.
Just didn't unfold how he thought it would.
No, just ended up being quite a lot of plodders in there. Nothing really.
He's had a few chances, Vauban, lately, and not managed to get his head in front on the flat. since, I tell you now, since last year, August 2023.
There you go, yeah.
So,
Maybe
but
it's his time of year.
Mullins is a genius.
Maybe it's just the horse's time of year. It does happen with a lot of horses. They have certain summer spring horses, summer
What,
late
horny?
What?
What, horny, you mean?
Who's horny?
No, what are you saying? Is that what you mean? The horse was having the time of year.
No, yeah. I've no idea what's gone. What's happening?
Should I cut that bit out?
No, leave it in if you want, but yeah.
I got confused. I thought you were saying it was like the horse's time of year. No, don't worry.
Nah.
Move on.
Anyway, summer spring. Some horses are spring horses. Some
yeah.
horses are late summer horses.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have the times of year.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Anyway.
Talk about Nunthorpe.
Yeah, good race.
Yeah. Okay. It was a great race. Do you want to kick us off with this one?
Yeah, I had the winner, so I might as well.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Text you in the morning saying Brad Sell. Again, no excuses. The only thing you could say with it saying it's all fair and no excuses, there probably was a draw bias for the low numbers in a lot of the races.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's one thing you could say. But in terms of hard luck stories, there is no hard luck stories really. Brad Sell, he was drawn in those lower numbers with a lot of the quicker gate horses. But you knew it was going well when Holly Doyle, halfway through the race, took a little glance to her right. Very sort of...
very nonchalant.
Very nonchalant, yeah, very confident. You could see she took a little look to her right. She knew she had a lot of horse left under her. And then as soon as she hit the button, it picked up.
Yeah.
So maybe it started towards the line, got a bit bored on his own out the front. But yeah, he won it very, very well. Asphora, the favourite, third?
Asphora came,
fourth, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're right, third or fourth.
No excuses on that one. Big Ev's
fourth.
Don't know where Big Ev's finished actually.
Big Ev's was actually eighth. Yeah. But look, Brad Sell that was mighty impressive. He's not had many goes at 5. Normally a 6 furlong horse.
6 furlong. I think his last few have been over 5 actually. And I think he's only had one run this year. I think it took him a while to get going this year. He might have only had one run. I think he did win it over in France.
Yeah, that's what he had, yeah.
But sometimes you can get that bounce factor where they come after the one run, they bounce a little bit, maybe not as good a run, but he's backed it up brilliantly.
Well, he's highly, looks to be highly versatile as well. It doesn't look to be too ground dependent either.
Can go over 6, can go over 5, but...
There's a little bit of juice in the ground at France and was over 5, and yeah, it's just he done that. He done that fine.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good win.
So, then you had George Bowie, just cannot get a winner at York at the moment. So he's had to take second place again. Finished like a train, believing. Just like he did.
But again, that was probably slightly drawn on the wrong side.
Yeah.
So drawn in the height, I think it's up like 13.
Yeah, he was mowing them down.
13, 14 drawn. Or might have that slightly wrong. But yeah, by far the best horse on that. So from those higher numbers. But Brad Sell just had too much.
Yeah, I'd say so. So they were talking about probably Haydock next for the Sprint Cup. Mm-hmm. So that'd be interesting. But you blink and you miss that kind of race. It's gone. They were talking about remember oh god the Godolphin not Godolphin the sprinter this holds the course record.
Batash.
Oh, Batash. Blink and you missed that horse run.
Yeah,
that
a
was
few
amazing
seconds
time.
behind, but no, like I say, mate, it's been great racing so far. Very fair and no excuses, and just some really good racing.
Yeah. Anyway, look, that's our thoughts and take on those 5 races. We should wrap it up there.
Yep.
And because we are all out of time. Leave us a couple of comments. Let us know what you thought of the races. Let us know what you think your ride of the week was, what the performance of the week was. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Over and out.